Hello everybody, welcome to Chinese Pod. I'm Joy.
And I'm Joe.
And today we're going to talk about the common Chinese character shang, or up or above. So we can see that the character has a base on the bottom and two strokes on top. Now we also have the character xia, which is below or under, and that's the base on top or the roof, and there's two strokes underneath. And we'll talk about that in another episode. So Joe, what can we use shang for?
Shang is a very versatile word and it has many meanings and usages. So we can, for example, as you just said, we can have on or above, but it can use that as a verb as well. Yeah, and we will
like get on a
get
vehicle.
on something. Yeah, and we will talk about all the different usages of shang now.
So the first definition of shang is on or above, and on top of is shangmian, which can be defined as
Like shang is on or above, and mian is the surface or the face of something. So it's like on the surface.
yeah, your up face is like on top of. So for example, we can say on top of the desk or table, and table is 桌子, 桌子. So I can say 桌子上面, which is
on top of the table.
notice that we put the noun first and then its location after. 桌子上面. That seems to be a mouthful for just saying on top of the table. So in English we have like tabletop. In Chinese we can shrink that to 桌上.
桌上.
It's like tabletop or table above. And that would be describing a location.
Okay, so that both would mean on the table.
Yeah.
桌上, and the other one was.
桌子上面
Okay, so the shorter version of 桌子上面.
is 桌上.
Okay.
Let's make a sentence. What can be on the table? Phone.
桌上有手机.
Oh, 桌上有手机. So on top of the table, there's a phone. Or I can also say 手机在桌上. The cell phone is on top of the table.
So 在 is to be.
To be.
And then 桌上.
Location on the table. Okay, let's talk about some other faces that we can be on top of. How do you say on your face?
脸上.
脸上. So your cell phone's not going to be on your face.
That would be weird.
脸上. So what else can be on your face? Oh, I know. 脸上有饭. 就脸上有饭.
Where?
上面. 上面. Right there. I'm just kidding. I'm just
Stop
messing with you.
messing with me.
就脸上有饭, which means
There's like rice on my face. Or in my face, maybe in English, in my face.
so just to differentiate, we can when we use 上, it can be on top of or above. But when we talk about a vehicle, we can say 车上, 在车上. So literally it means to be on the car, but in English that means you're in the car, not on top of the vehicle.
Not sitting on the roof or something.
Not sitting on the roof. So I can say 我在车上.
So that could be, yeah, that's on the car, but actually it's in the car. But in some, like if you have, for example, 公, what was bus again?
公交车上.
Then it would be on the bus. So
On the
sometimes
bus.
it does work as on in English, and sometimes it works better as in, like in the car.
In the car, on the bus, or whatever transportation you'd be on it or in it. Same with 上. What other vehicles can we say? Public transportation.
飞机上.
Ah, 我在飞机上 must mean I have Wi-Fi because I'd be calling you from the plane.
Yeah, but you do find Wi-Fi now in planes.
True.
So 飞机上 is on the plane. Here it's on.
So 我在飞机上就在车上.
So we can use 上 as in above or on top of something in a more abstract way as well. For example, we have the words 早上 and 晚上, which is literally kind of on the early 早上 and on the late 晚上. So what is that in real words?
So 早上 is morning, on the early, so in the morning. 晚上 evening. So if you want to say good morning, you can say 早安 or 早上好. It's like good morning. Or 晚安 good night. 晚上好, good evening. So previously we talked about being in the car is 在车上, to be in the car. But now I'm going to tell you how to get on the car. So to get on the car is 上车, and that's the verb to get on the car. 上车. So obviously we can 上 a lot of different kinds of public transportation. What else can we get on?
We just said as well 飞机上, so we could do probably 上飞机,
To
right?
get on the plane, 上飞机. That's right. What else can we 上?
Oh, when you like hiking, you can say 上山.
Oh, so to get on the mountain is to hike. 上山.
To go up or get on the mountain.
I have to insert this idiom. 上山下海.
Oh,
On the mountain, under the sea.
under the sea.
So it's like we're doing everything everywhere. We're going hiking and we're going deep into the ocean. But 下 you'll learn in another episode. Okay, what else can we use with 上?
Actually, we can say 上船.
Ah, perfect. To get on a ship or boat or ferry, 上船.
Actually, that was not what I had in mind, but yes, that's true, to get on a boat. And we have a word with the same pronunciation, which means to upload.
Oh, 上船. So notice the characters 上船, 上船 sounds exactly the same, but different characters. And that 船 means to send. So 上, when you upsend something, you're uploading. So that's not really physically going on some journey, but you are uploading something. 就我想坐邮轮。
不行，我不能上船，
为什么？
我会吐。
哦，那我想上山。
好，那要怎么去？
开车。
开车好，我开车，你上车吧。
好，我们一起上车吧。So we talked about getting in vehicles using 上, like 上车, to get in the car. We can also use 上 to mean attending something. For example, a class. So instead of in or on, when we attend a class, we say 上课, and 课 is class. 上课.
Oh, so it's literally kind of like to go on a class, and that makes it like to be in class?
Yeah, to join a class, to be in class.
And it was 2 fourth tone, right? 上课.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I'm going to say I'm going to go to class on Monday. That's 周一我要上课。周一 Monday I will 上课 go to class. What else can we 上？
上班
Oh, 上班
Which
to go to
is-
work.
to work, like to is same again, to go on work,
To go on a
and it
job.
just becomes to be on work or to start to attend work.
Yeah. 就你什么时候要上班？
我明天要上班。
So I said, Joe, when are you going to work? And that was Joe, 你什么时候? That's what time or at what point? 要上班.
And I said, I'm going to work tomorrow, like 明天 tomorrow. 我要 I will, I want to, I have to. 上班 work.
So you can say, 我明天要上班 or 明天我要上班. So 2 different ways of saying you have to do something. Okay, we can also say to start my job or to start a work. We say 上工, 上工, any kind of work.
上工 any kind of work.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 上班 is probably like a job where you have to sit at a desk per se. But 上工 is like to start a construction, for example, or a project.
Okay. Start a project, start a construction, because 工 is from 工作, right?
Exactly.
Work.
工作 work. Joe, I heard you have a new job. 你上工了吗？
还没，后天上工。
So starting the day after tomorrow. I said, have you started your job yet? Like, not yet. I'll start the day after tomorrow.
Yes.
So now I'm going to talk about 上, meaning previously or the last one. So if I wanted to say last week, I would say 上周.
上周. So it's fourth tone and first tone.
Exactly.
周 means week, and 上 above. So it's above week, which becomes previous or last week.
Last week. Or I can say 上星期, which is also last week. So 周, 星期, two different ways of saying week. Now, if I wanted to say last month, I need to use the unit 个. So that goes 上个月.
上个月. So it just, yeah, 上个 is last, and 月
The unit, and then 月,
months.
last month. Okay, I have a sentence for you. A question, actually. 就你上星期做了什么？
我上星期去旅行。
哦，去哪儿？
上山下海。
So I said, Joe, what did you do last week? And he said,
On the mountains and under the sea, so everywhere.
everywhere. So I went to on a trip. All right, so now I'm going to say last time. You can use this in two ways. Last time can be 上次, literally last time. 上回, it's kind of like last turn. 上次 or 上回. So I can say, 我上回去上海工作.
So last time you went to Shanghai for work.
Exactly.
And in this sentence you could say 上次 as well, right?
That would be 我上次去上海工作.
Same meaning. So let's recap and summarize what we have learned so far about the usage of 上. So we had 上 as in the meaning of on or above in a very literal meaning. For example, we had on the table
桌上,
or on the bus.
车上 or 公交车上.
Okay, so that is on the bus. Or 车上 could be on the car as well, in the car actually. Okay, and we had it in a more abstract kind of usage, for example, with 早上 and 晚上.
Morning and evening.
And then we used 上 as a verb in to go up something or to go in a public transport vehicle. For example, we had go on a mountain,
上山,
to go on a plane,
上飞机,
and to go into the car.
上车.
And then we had 上 as in the meaning to attend something, which is kind of to go up as well. That's where it comes from, but it means to attend. For example, we have 上课, which is
To go to class,
or 上班.
to go to work.
And after that, we talked about 上 as in the meaning of previous or last, like the thing above. We had, for example, last week,
上星期 or 上周,
or last month.
上个月.
And then we had last time, two versions of that.
上次 or 上回. Okay, so we've learned all these different locations, prepositions, on top of, last week. I've got one more for you.
Okay.
马上.
马上.
It also indicates time.
马上 is actually quite cool because 马 is the horse. 上 is on top of the horse. And it paints a nice picture because that actually means instantly.
The horse runs fast. So if I say, Joe, 你什么时候上山?
马上.
Oh, he's gonna go hiking right now.
I'm not going to hike on a horse. No. Just right now.
Just right now. 马上. That means right now. Okay, thanks for joining us today. I'm Joy.
And I'm Joe.
If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below, and I'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Introducing Chinese Pod Recap, the app with fast summary lessons. How much time do you have? Join us in the beta program. For more info, go to ChinesePod.com/recap.